Hello and welcome to another update video about ADA, Cardano. We take a look at the ADA chart. We start on the daily time frame while ADA is moving up a little bit. Currently we see a few green candles on the crypto charts. So at the moment ADA here, it moved up in a wave 1 here in May 21. And we are now in this wave 2 correction, this large wave 2 correction somewhere in here. I've got the wave 2 hidden. Actually need to move that out later. But yeah, it's a 1-2 setup currently on the daily time frame here, or you could say even on the weekly. You can see that very clearly on the weekly. But then after the wave 1, we moved down in an A wave, which is the first wave of a corrective pattern. In this case, the wave 2. We moved up in an overshooting wave B. That's what Bitcoin and many other cryptos did as well, like Ethereum. I think Chainlink did something similar, or Polkadot definitely. And then we are now moving down in the C wave. And this is a so-called expanded flat pattern, where the B wave overshoots above the previous wave high, and then the C wave is going below the low of the A wave. That's exactly what we're seeing here. That means the C wave is an impulse, which explains why this has come down so strongly. And it's been now in a bear market since September 21, so basically 15 months. So it's time for this to end at some point. At the moment, however, I don't see a sign that it's ending, at least not yet. In this video, by the way, I want to take a look at some indicators as well, in a similar way that we've done it with Bitcoin recently. So wave 1 down, 2 up, wave 3 down, done. That was here on the 12th of May. We then had many months of sideways movements, which I consider part of a diagonal pattern. There is another possibility to count this, which is this as a triangle. I did that before. That's possible as well, but it doesn't really change a lot down here. So there's different interpretations, you know, on the lower time frames. But you wouldn't find one that really says the low is already in with a high likelihood. Yeah, I mean you can say that maybe those 5 waves here that we can see 1, 2, 3, 4. That here with a 5th wave the low has been in. Yeah, absolutely is possible. You know, it's technically possible. It wouldn't be against the rules or anything. But as I said before, without any clear bullish signal, for example, like a breakout of this channel, I would not want to commit to that. So my primary expectation is still that we're going to see lower lows, also because my expectation is for Bitcoin to still go lower. I know on days like these when we see a few green candles, I see it everywhere on the, you know, it's not even a lot of green candles today and not even crazy movements, and people still get very bullish, and I start to read comments like the low is in, and not only for ADA but for other cryptos, even though nothing has really changed. We just see a little bit of a corrective upside in a larger downtrend, which is still ongoing for most cryptocurrencies, unfortunately. But yeah, I think we still have to prepare for lower prices. Before we go to the lower time frame, immediate price action, which looks not too bad, let's go and take a look at the indicators, because on the daily chart what we've seen now is here a bullish crossover, and we had I believe a bullish divergence on the daily time frame here as well on the RSI. Yeah, we made lower lows on the price chart, higher lows on the RSI, and a bullish crossover on the MACD. That supports my view that we should be moving up in a so-called wave 2 correction here now or very shortly. So I've been talking about that wave 2 correction for a few days now. The last move up was just a fake out high, and we made another lower low afterwards. But I think we are sort of towards the end of at least the wave 1 of this larger 5-wave move. So just to show you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, either going to 18 cents in my opinion or 10 cents. Yeah, that's sort of what I see now. I mean, overall the downside targets have been reached, right? I mean, the 30-cent target was sort of my wish list target. We reached that. Now we've unfortunately dropped even lower, and now we need to look at the next key targets and support levels, and the next ones that come up are 18 and 10, but below 10, I mean, that's it. You know, that there isn't anything else. If it then doesn't turn around, we are you know, we get possibly into trouble here. But yeah, we'll see. It's a hard bear market, isn't it? So that's on the daily. So this supports the view that we could get some more substantial upside now, as already suggested for the last few days. Looking at the 4-day chart, which is always very relevant, we see something similar here. We haven't had a bullish cross yet, yeah, so might be worth looking out for that. That's more a long-term thing, but it wasn't really helpful recently. We saw a few fake out green bullish crossovers, so that's not really too helpful. A signal that is very, very useful on the Bitcoin chart, or historically it has been very useful, is actually the 2-week chart. I mean, here we now have a bullish crossover on the MACD on the 2-week chart. That is interesting because it suggests that the low is nearly in or already in. I mean, we don't have historical data on that indicator on the ADA chart, as you can clearly see there, because it's the first time we really had a bullish crossover on the 2-week. But Bitcoin, whenever Bitcoin made a 2-week bullish crossover, the low was in. Well, I'm not suggesting it is in, but it's certainly an indicator. It only indicates, right? But it's certainly something to focus on in the next few weeks and so. I mean, on the weekly, we've had that bullish crossover already in July, and it's still, continuing to drop. So that's not a very helpful indicator. The 2-week one might be, and the monthly one continues to reduce negative momentum. So the overall downtrend momentum is slowing down on the higher time frames. But it's a bit too early to really, talk about that the low is already in. Oh, it could be in at any moment, but I think the overall sentiment is still too negative. Should things change, I will of course keep you updated. Now, if we take a look now on the lower time frames, and we can take a look at the 4-hour here first. On the 4-hour, we see a few bullish engulfing green candles here. So we did hold the support area in the last few videos, and we are moving higher as per the expected move here to the upside, that we finally get this sort of ABC move up. Let's see if we actually will get it. That would be sort of in the, I would say, high 20s, because the 5-wave move down here was complete. So it could either mean that an overall low is in for the bear market, which I don't believe yet, or a more substantial low, and we're now just going up in a corrective move, which I think we are doing. This is most likely going to be a 5-wave move within a wave A, then we'll get a B wave and a C wave up. At the moment, it's not perfect, yeah. So it's not perfect, so let me take that out. It's not perfect because what we talked about in the previous video is that this was most likely here then a wave 1, here wave 2. In the wave 3 now, oh dear, let me just do that again. In the wave 3, we only reached the 1.236 extension. So I would have to assume that the wave 3 is actually not over yet. Yeah, ideally we want to see, and also I can only see 3 waves in the wave 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ideally we get one more leg up to the 25.8 cent level in this third wave there in white, before we move up down in a wave 4, and then we'll go up in a wave 5 to finish off the wave 3 in the white circle. So that's how it should ideally cascade higher to keep confidence in this chart, because if it doesn't do the 1.618, it's always a bit of a flaw. I mean, at the moment, looking at this possible small wave 4 correction that we're doing, I mean, obviously with it, you need to think about wave 3 should still go higher, but within this, we also have subwaves, which I'm not going to label, but we've got a wave 1 here, a 2, a 3 here, probably a 4, and that should not drop below 25 cents anymore, or 25.14. So a drop below that would again lead to a possible breakdown of the chart. But at the moment, as long as we're holding 25.14, we can look at getting this additional high to finish off the third wave, then a fourth down and a fifth up. That should finish off the third wave in the circle, then a fourth down and a fifth up. That is how it should ideally work out. However, if we break that support that I just mentioned, we need to be prepared for a breakdown. And what it might then be, even though I don't like it, but we will then have to prepare. If we drop below that 50% level, then all of this might just, because you see it, overall this is just together now a 3-wave move. So it could just be this was a 1A, overshooting B wave and come down in C. But again, it would make the chart even less reliable again. So it's a bit of a micro count squiggle here a little bit, but what we can do as well, we can add a bit of a channel here, a parallel channel to this. Let's see what the most accurate way of doing it would be. I think it might be even that a diagonal is unfolding here, which is even less reliable. So if this becomes something really like an ascending wedge, we want to avoid that. Or here parallel channel. So again, diagonals would be less reliable. We'll keep an eye on that, but ideally it pushes higher once more in the third wave, will then come down in the fourth and cascade higher and will eventually break out of the channel. If we stay in the channel, it is just going to be a diagonal that includes overlaps and is less reliable for traders. But yeah, that's my update about ADA. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Also, if you're interested in supporting MCO and you want to earn passive ADA with your ADA, feel free to check out our MCO ADA stake pool. You can delegate to that and receive rewards roughly every 5 days, which is basically every epoch. It's a fairly new pool, but we have distributed rewards now for 3 epochs, and they should go up over time as well. Because our plan is to increase the pledge with the ADA rewards so that we get from the pool. So we're going to do that. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy that. For everybody who's already delegating and supporting MCO, if you want to do that, you can find links in the description how to delegate to the MCO pool. And other than that, yeah, thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.